Hi, everyone. I'm Lisa Copeland, and I'm a dating coach who loves helping women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s find the right man to share their heart and life with. Today, I want to talk to you about deal breakers because deal breakers can truly keep you from finding love. So let's start by defining what exactly is a dating deal breaker. Well, these are qualities a man has or comes to the dating table with that you can't tolerate in your life. Now, men also have deal breakers when it comes to women, but the difference between the sexes is men usually honor their deal breakers. You'll see this when a man is in a relationship with a woman for years and years, yet he won't totally commit to her. In his mind, she probably has a deal breaker that makes her okay to just date and have fun with. Now, we as women have a tendency not to honor our deal breakers when it comes to men. And with a little work and a lot of love, we think we can change him and get him to change his mind about what this is that's the deal breaker for us. Well, men don't change unless men want to. And you might say, oh, but I love him so much. And if this is the case and he has one of your deal breakers and it's important to you, you are not honoring yourself and you will be settling. This is when women settle, when they do not honor what it is that they want. And many women choose to settle because they're afraid no one out there is as good as this man. So they settle for a man who has one of their deal breakers going on in his life. And all this type of thinking does is it's going to take you to a place of scarcity when it comes to men. Now, I got to tell you, our age group leads the pack with the highest number of divorces. So there's actually an abundance of men out there for you to date. Now, back to deal breakers. Let's take a moment and just talk about some common deal breakers that you really want to think about. The first one you want to think about is a pet. If you have a pet that you absolutely love, then you're going to want a man who will treasure your baby just as much as you do. The next deal breaker you want to think about is children. Are you okay with a man living with his adult children or his adult children living with him? Or if a man has minor children, are you okay with this? It's not easy doing those teenage years again. And if a man comes with minor children and you have an empty nest, you really want to think about, is this something you want? Another deal breaker you want to think about is a man who smokes. I had a boyfriend back in the day when I first started dating who was a smoker when we met. And he would go outside with a hoodie on that would protect his hair and his clothes. And he would smoke a cigarette and then he would come in and he would wash his face and he pretty much smelled okay. And after a while, he truly did try and quit for me. I know when we broke up, he went right back to it. But the thing is it wasn't right for me to ask him to quit. It was a deal breaker. But this was before I was a dating coach and I didn't realize this and I was settling because I wanted to be with someone who didn't smoke because smoking irritated me. Okay, another deal breaker you want to think about is religion. Do you need a man in your life who can share your religious beliefs or who will go to church or to temple with you on a regular basis? Or is it okay if he's spiritual? Or is it if okay he was brought up a certain religion, but only celebrates major holidays in that religion? This is something you really want to think about because within religions, there are certain values, and a man really needs to have the values that are important to you. And you want to be sure that you share these values with each other. And sometimes religious differences can keep this from happening. No judgment about it. Just if you don't share values with someone based on religion, then you want to think, is this a deal breaker for you? Also, alcohol use. Are members of Alcoholics Anonymous or non-drinkers okay for you to date? A friend of mine said to me he dated this woman for a while, and it was really hard for him. He liked to have a drink on the weekends, and she would constantly talk to him about how bad alcohol was. She had never been an alcoholic, she just never drank. And it was hard for him. He decided after that he wanted someone that would have a glass of wine at the end of the day if they wanted to share a bottle together. Also, someone that is in Alcoholics Anonymous. Are you okay with this? Again, no judgment here. You get to pick and choose what you want, and you really want to think about this. Let's also talk about another deal breaker, differences in sexual behavior. Are you looking for a full-blown 50 Shades of Grey kind of guy? Are you looking for someone, though, that you could just have sex once a year on your birthday? Or are you looking for something in between? You really want to think about this, as well as the sexual dysfunction that happens as we're aging. Think about where you fit in this and what it is you want sexually in your life with a partner. Another deal breaker potential is money issues. Do you want him to pay for everything, or can he be financially responsible for just his side and you're responsible for yours? Or what is it money-wise that is important to you? You really want to think about this, because as you grow older together, you want to be sure he has the financial wherewithal to support himself. Or are you okay supporting both of you? Take some time to really clear your head and think about the specifics of your deal breakers and what each one means to you. I guarantee whatever deal breakers you skip over now are going to turn into major conflicts in your relationship at a later date. It's truly better to know what they are and whether he has them before you get too far into a relationship. And you might think, oh my God, if I have all these deal breakers, who's really out there? You really do only want to have no more than 10 to 12 deal breakers. Otherwise, you're looking for perfection. But you do get to choose what's important to you. And you need to have the mindset and want to have the mindset of, there are lots of men out there for me to date that have what I want. So while you're thinking about it, why don't you take a few minutes and write down some of your deal breakers? And as you are out there dating, come back and refer to this list to see if he has what it is that you want, or if he has a deal breaker. I had a client come to me and say to me, I met the coolest guy. He's great, but he has a deal breaker. And I said to her, well, you need to take this off your quality man template. And what that is my clients all need to get a clear vision of the right man for them. And deal breakers is part of this. And so she went into her quality man template. She took the deal breaker off, and she came back 2 weeks later and she said, I remember why it was a deal breaker. And she realized, yes, she would have been settling if she had walked right through it. Also, I want you to remember, if a healthy long-term relationship is what you really desire in your life, then you want to choose men who don't have deal breakers. Otherwise, you're settling. Now, just for a tiny bit of inspiration to know that you can find love after 50, I got this email from Kathy. Lisa, I wanted to let you know I've been dating an amazing man for a year and a half, and we recently got engaged. The process and the guidance you provided were instrumental in me meeting him. He's such a kind, generous, adoring, adventurous, stable, and amazing man who adores me every day. I don't think I would have been prepared to meet him without going through your program. And believe me, I didn't always comply or agree with you, but I did it anyway because your program really works, Lisa, and it has all the tools I needed to find my guy. I'm 61 and believe that true love is an option for anyone. So a question for you. Would you love to have a good man in your life like Kathy now has? Imagine what that would be like. No more searching for Mr. Right. No more wondering, where can I find him? And waking up every morning with that love and sweetness in your life. If this sounds amazing, just click the link below and let's set up a complimentary time to talk and see how we can make this happen for you. And if you're not ready yet, there's lots of other resources that are totally free. And look for that link below as well. I am so believing in you. You've got this. You can do it, and you can find love after 50. Until next time, get out there and start dating and use this and have fun. I know you can do it.